Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Roy Cannaday here, and this is the top 20 of my top 100 games. This is the last one I'm doing solo. The other one's gonna be with a bunch of other nerds. I'm excited about that during the Summer Spectacular to do our top 10. But this is the video of the ones that are just out of my top 10, but still extremely amazing games that I love to play. A blast, they're a lot of fun. And let's get right into it. All right, coming in at number 20 is a game that I love, a two-player or even multiplayer head-to-head battling card game, and that is Unmatched. I have really loved Unmatched since it first came out. I love the trying to outthink your opponent, figuring out when to play cards, when to play high cards, when to play low cards, when to do all these different special abilities with all sorts of different characters. The fact that they brought Marvel into this, and it's fun to have those Marvel characters with extra boards with tokens on them to be able to try to outthink your opponents in new ways. I've had a blast playing this game over time. I played it with Ruthie, my girlfriend. I played it a lot with Z and Joey. It's just been a lot of fun playing with a bunch of different groups of people and having this game be a lot of fun to play. So Unmatched is a great head-to-head game. So if you're looking for a head-to-head battler, check out Unmatched. All right, my number 19 is a social deduction game, my favorite one in that genre. There's technically a game that still has social deduction higher on my list, but this is Deception Murder in Hong Kong. And this is way up on my list, and it's just because how well Deception Murder in Hong Kong works with so many different groups. I played it with friends, I played it with families, I played it with coworkers, I played it with so many different people. I love just the way that the forensic scientist role is so much fun. When you're playing the murderer, you can kind of like hide a little bit in the shadows, and still, even if they know that you're the murderer, they still have to figure out the weapon and the clue left behind. So you're still not 100% out, even if you're not as good at bluffing. And then the different investigators just trying to figure out and deduce what the forensic scientist is trying to tell you. And the whole time that murderer is just like trying to lead you astray or trying to like throw blame on somebody else or find a way to like make it look like somebody else did it. I have had so much fun with Deception Murder Hong Kong, and even if you're not that big into social deduction games, you should at least try Deception and Murder Hong Kong out at least once. It's been so much fun. I have a lot of fun with it, and so that's why it's so high on my top 100. My next one here is a gigantic storytelling game. This one has slipped a little bit just because I haven't gotten to the table as much, but this is Sleeping Gods. I love the open world adventure exploration part of Sleeping Gods. And I love the fact that like you're kind of like marking the map as you're going along, learning where different things are and trying to figure out kind of the best routes to do different things for your mission that you're going out. It's so cool exploring this world and like all the stories that come out of it. I love the like keyword system of like, oh, I got this keyword. I think this keyword triggers over here on this location at this island. Maybe we can find something and uncover something cool over there. Just going through this game is a lot of fun, trying to figure out how to manage your ship. It is a little bit fiddly, and that's probably why I don't get to the table as much. I'm really excited for the next version of this coming out that's supposed to streamline it and stuff like that, to see if maybe that'll help me get to the table even more. But I love the stories in Ryan Lauka's game. The art is amazing. The world building is amazing that has gone into this game. But yeah, Sleeping Gods. My next one is a gigantic space game set in the Star Wars universe. I think this is my highest Star Wars game. This is Star Wars Rebellion. Everybody says this is Star Wars in a box. It basically is. This is a amazing game to play. I have a lot of fun playing with all the different like stuff. It's very asymmetrical. I love that the Empire is trying to find that rebel base, go out there, deduce where they are, blast them out of the sky, and then the rebels are trying to set up these different missions to get points to be able to overthrow the Empire and like weaken their stronghold, but keeping their rebel base hidden the whole time they're doing that. It's a very interesting kind of like leader placement thing that you're going out there trying to fulfill these different missions. This is a game that I'd love to get back to the table. The Dice Tower has this crazy version with gigantic planets and stuff like that. It looks really cool set out on the table. But yeah, I just enjoy Star Wars Rebellion, and I love how epic this game is. It is a two-player only game. Well, you can play up to 4, but I've never played it that way. I always played just 2 players, and it's a long game, but it's one of those games that's worth it when you get to the table because it creates those just epic memories and experiences. So Star Wars Rebellion. My number 16 here is way up on my list, but I feel like it could slip a little bit higher because I've played this game even more since making the list, and that is Destinies. I love Destinies. This is a game that you really need to play at 3 players, but it's app-driven, and you're all going through different stories, trying to fulfill your different destinies. It's just cool. One of those exploration games where you're going around, exploring, reading basically out of the app, trying to figure out. Every player has 2 different like quests or missions they're trying to complete. You can go one path or kind of go the other, but each of those paths are kind of shared with the other player, so you're paying attention to what's happening on their turn, being like, oh, I'm trying to find this silver thing. Oh, I heard that there could be a silver knife over in their story. Maybe I should head over there and try to beat them to it. It is all kind of like a little bit of a race as you're playing the game head to head against each other. Sometimes people are grabbing things out from under you, and then you're finding that final destiny, getting there, and then uncovering kind of like what the grand overarching like story of the whole scenario was. It's a lot of fun playing through this, and it's just one of those games that it just has great narrative as you're going along, and I just love story in games as you feel like you're going through uncovering and exploring things. And that is why Destinies is so high and could be even higher on my top 100. My number 15 is the aforementioned game that has social deduction in it, and that is Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica is a gigantic game where you're playing through, trying to figure out who's Cylons, who's not, trying to get your ship to Caprica before the time runs out, or if you're playing with different scenarios, it could be like getting to Earth and things like that. But I mostly play base game-ish with a little bit of extra stuff thrown in. I don't play with everything thrown in at once, but I've had so much fun and so many amazing memories playing Battlestar Galactica. When I got into board gaming super hardcore, I played tabletop games my whole life. I played a lot of CCGs, played a lot of D&D, but like when I played Battlestar Galactica and saw kind of like what it could do, I fell headfirst into board games, like a cooperative game with this hidden traitor, but also like you're trying to go through these missions, and it just felt so epic as you're playing the game, working together. Every single turn, you're trying to figure out how to manage these crises that are popping up. And I hadn't even seen the show when I first played this game, but I still enjoyed it. I since have watched all of it. But yeah, I played this game with my girlfriend as well, and she even enjoyed it. It's a longer game for sure, but it's one that I just don't think has been replaced. I know people ask about the Lovecraft or Cthulhu Mythos retheme. I didn't enjoy that one as well, just because I felt like it wasn't as balanced, but this one is my go-to, and I love playing Battlestar Galactica. It is a blast for sure. Number 14. This is a crazy zany game with wizards running around trying to blow each other up and steal treasure chests in a labyrinth to get them back to their home base, and that is Wiz War. This game is older than I am. It's kind of like a predecessor to Magic the Gathering. I think Richard Garfield quoted saying, oh, Wiz War had some influence on creating Magic the Gathering. This is a Tom Jolly game that it's just zany. It's kind of wacky. It has a bunch of different card play. It's just so fun. I just enjoy the card combinations. I play mostly the Fantasy Flight version. I have all the expansions for it. I've 3D printed little walls and things and little treasure chests to make my game even more upgraded. And that sort of stuff does play an effect into how much I love these games. But this is one of those ones I enjoy bringing out at a con. And just having those games where it's kind of it doesn't matter that much, but it's just trying to come up with those combos, blowing up walls, putting up walls, summoning some beastie to go after, turning yourself into another beastie to punch somebody in the face, hitting someone with a giant hammer, throwing things across the room, and trying to figure out how to get to those 2 points to win the game. It's always kind of oh no, they're running with a treasure chest, we all have to stop them. Oh no, now he's running with a treasure chest, we all have to stop him. There's a lot of that in this game, but I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the interaction. I really enjoy blowing each other up in this crazy wizard duel. I think this is a game that is definitely wacky and won't be everybody's favorite, but I just have so much fun with it, and that is Wiz War. My number 13 is a hidden movement game, and it's one that I have always had a ton of fun with, and that is Specter Ops. In Specter Ops, you have an agent that's one player secretly moving, trying to go in and uncover these different objectives, and then you have another group, the Raxon group, that is all these hunters that are basically the security guards of this facility, trying to stop them from getting in, and they're trying to figure out and deduce where they are. They'll have cool powers that kind of help them figure out. One of the things I love, all the special powers in this game, and how puzzly and thinky this game is. And it's pretty simple to play overall. This is one that I really want to play even more, just because I'm getting excited even thinking about it. I'm man, I really need to get Specter Ops back to the table. But yeah, I just enjoy the puzzle and the deduction of moving around and trying to get in there. As the agent player, you're sitting there okay, maybe I should just stay still for a turn, maybe let them walk away further, but what if they get this information, they could come find me. And then it's just so rewarding when they're like, they could be on this spot or they could be on this spot. Okay, we're going to go here, and they go to the wrong place, or when they do that sort of thing and you're like nowhere near them. And then as the hunters, it's just so fun to puzzle that out and work together as a team, like extremely cooperatively, being like, okay, you go over here, I'll go over there. It's just like a gigantic game of hide and seek with cool special powers and crazy, almost like cyberpunkish feel to it. I really enjoy Specter Ops, and that's why it's my number 13. All right, my number 12 is a game that I have played majority of my life. I've been playing Dune/Rex. I didn't play Rex until, of course, it came out. I've been playing Dune since I was probably like 12 years old. My dad showed me the Dune movies, and we played the old school Dune game. And this isn't Dune Imperium. This is the 6-player, basically Dune area control game where you're trying to gain spice and trying to get different combat cards and different things and trying to control different strongholds out on the board. Every player is trying to move units down on the board, control those things, but it's very tight as far as like the economy of spice, because it's like very hard to get out there and get it. Spice will blow up in different spots on the board. People will be battling over those, but you win the game by having enough strongholds depending on player count. But yeah, it's just this interesting game. There's hidden traders in this as well, where you'll have a card that's a hidden trader for a certain leader. And it's like, okay, I think this leader's safe against them, but when the battle really counts, you can play out those traders. Some cards will get you more traders and things like that. It's very asymmetrical. All of the different factions are very different. Like the Fremen can move around the board easier, but only spawn on the board in certain places, can't like fly in like the normal troops can. You have the Empire that has like the Emperor who has stronger units. The Harkonnens have more traders. The Atreides can like ask questions about different things. The Bene Gesserit can kind of guess who's going to be the winner of the game. The Spicing Guild can fly people in on the board easier. It's all very different. And I just enjoy the asymmetry of this. This is just a game that like when people are really into it is just so amazing to play. And the Rex version is a lot of fun too. I really enjoyed the Twilight Imperium theme on it also. I've enjoyed playing Rex a bunch of times, and it has basically the exact same sort of feel or game, but just without that Dune theme. I just enjoy both these games. So if you have either version of them, it's good to go. It's just a fun game to play. And my number 11 is brand new to the list. This is the War of the Ring card game. This was my favorite game coming out of last year, and I just really enjoy the card play for this. I've been a sucker for like card games like my entire life. I grew up playing collectible card games, and this is not a collectible card game, it's a card game in a box, but I just really enjoy I love Lord of the Rings theme, my favorite theme of all time, but just that I have to discard a card to play another card, and figuring out when to do that. You're battling over all these different bases in the middle of the table. You play teams where you are on a team with another player, and then you have 2 free peoples and then 2 shadow players, and then you're trying to figure out how to battle over these locations, trying to communicate and figure out what you can do. And then it also works really well 2 players as well. You can probably play an even faster game 2 players going head to head. And I know they just announced a solo mode and cooperative mode for this, and I am stoked to play that as well. But yeah, I really enjoy the War of the Ring card game. I do feel like it's very different than the board game because you're just going after these different strongholds, but it's just cool to see those same characters, some of the same iconography in the game, but it's just still extremely solid, and that's why it has such a high debut for me coming in on this. But yeah, that is my top 20 there. Next time we're going to be going into the top 10 during the Summer Spectacular. And I just want to say it's been awesome having everybody join in here on these lists. I mean, you can see tons and tons of games that have not only like influenced like my taste in gaming and like what I've enjoyed growing up playing with friends and family, but also the things that I've done like kind of in the industry. Like these are a lot of games that have inspired me to create games of my own. I have a game coming out super soon, Last Light, that kind of has a lot of vibe of a lot of the games that I really enjoyed here. And there's been so many amazing designers that have made so many great games that I have been able to enjoy and take in inspiration and take in like the love of their love of the industry and brought it and tried to show it to people even more. So yeah, it's been awesome sharing my top 100 with you guys. I'm super excited to share even more. Definitely make sure to check out the rest of the list. You guys are all amazing. Make sure to comment below on what games you were excited from this section of the list, and make sure to show up for the top 10 during the Summer Spectacular. Anyway, I've been Roy Cannaday. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you on the next one.